Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm Chef Mike Mahoney. I'm the executive chef at Charlie Palmer's Steak in Reno. We're located in the Grand Sierra Resort. I know everybody's stuck at home, so am I. If you can't tell, this is not Charlie Palmer's Steak. This is my home kitchen. We're going to do a chicken skillet. Real easy, kind of easy. Simple recipe though. If you follow along with me, we're gonna make this chicken skillet recipe. A lot of root vegetables, herbs, garlic, spices. It's gonna be real fun, real easy to make. It's a one-pan thing, so just follow along. So what we're gonna do, we got a preheated oven, hot skillet. This is a cast iron skillet. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, that's okay. You can use pretty much any skillet that's oven safe. I'm gonna heat up our pan. A little bit of olive oil here. Or canola oil is a little bit better. It's not going to burn on you like olive oil will. Or chicken thighs. I have boneless, skinless. Bone-on, skin-on is a little bit better. You're going to get a little bit more flavor. My family, we do boneless, skinless for a little bit more flavor, or less flavor, but more health aspect. We're trying to stay a little bit more healthy. Salt and pepper your chicken. And that's going to fall off on here, so if you go a little heavy, it's okay. You're going to lose a little bit of that in the pan, but we're going to still use all that good flavor that we saute in there on the vegetables and everything else. So you're going to go season side down, start sauteing that up. I'm going to go a nice golden brown color. And if you guys want to follow along, there's a recipe attached. We're going to send the recipe along with this video so you can follow the recipe. It's real easy. I'm going to take a couple lemons, cut them in half. So you get these nice big lemons here. You can throw them down here as well into the pan with the chicken. It's okay. Everything's going to cook together. You're not going to cross-contaminate anything because it's all going to cook and clean everything out. So as that's cooking, make sure you wash your hands. You don't want to cross-contaminate your vegetables or anything. So that's going to sizzle over there, get nice and brown over a nice medium-high heat. So while this is cooking, we want to season the other side. We'll season all parts of all your ingredients. And while that's simmering away nice and brown, we're going to take the rest of our vegetables, get those ready. So we got some Brussels sprouts here, cleaned and halved. This is about 10 to 12 ounces. These are creamer potatoes. They're real small. So if you want to take the size of your hand, so that's about the size of a creamer potato. These roast really nice. That's where we're using these. So I'm going to roast up real nice. They're real tender on the inside, but crispy on the outside. You want about 10 to 12 ounces of these as well. Fennel is going to add a lot of good aromatics, nice licorice flavor to it, which is really nice. Brighten it up a little bit for the springtime. This is one head. I just took off the tops and cut them into about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch thick slices here. Those are going to char up in there as well. Shallots. These are 2 nice big shallots. I just peeled them and quartered them. Some nice fresh herbs and some garlic here. So for the garlic, all we're really going to do is just crush garlic. Just take the side of your knife, press down on it. You get nice crushed garlic right there. We don't need to chop it. We're doing real rustic style here. This is just going to open up all your flavors, open up all the aromatics, and it's going to char and get nice color, add nice flavor to the rest of your dish. Then we're going to flip our chickens over. Going to get a little bit of color on both sides. Leave the lemons cut side down. You just want to char to one side. So we're going to get nice color on both sides of the chicken. The lemons are going to get nice and charred up. And then on the back here, we got some Israeli couscous. If you've ever had couscous before, it's pretty similar. Little different though. So it's same ingredients, they're just processed a little bit larger. So they're nice pearl size. The reason why I like to use these, they have a nice texture to them, right? So you're gonna let a little bit more pop to them. Couscous, all it is really pasta, just done in little pearls instead of long strands. So now we got the chicken going here. I'm gonna pull that aside. All you want to do is get a little bit of color on the outside of the chicken. You're going to get some nice chunky parts down in the bottom of your pan here. All the brown bits, all the parts that come off the chicken, off the lemons. That's going to create like a lot of flavor inside the dish here. You should pull the chicken out. Pull your lemons out. Set those aside as well. You're going to let this get nice and hot. We want to get this nice and hot. And when we add our vegetables in there, we're going to get a nice char that's going to bring out all that flavor, add a little bit more smokiness to it. So we pulled our chicken out, we got our lemons taken out, our pan's really nice and hot. We're going to add our vegetables in. When we do this, we want the pan screaming hot, really, really, really hot. You want that because what's going to happen is it's going to char up, pull a lot of nice flavors out of your vegetables here. Our fennel goes in there. Shallots, our Brussels sprouts, and our potatoes. You want to press them down, get them nice, flat. We're going to season everything. So remember, we season the chicken pretty heavy, and some of that flavoring, all the salt, all the pepper comes off inside the pan. So you don't want to go as heavy. A little bit lighter on the seasoning. Last thing, don't forget your crushed garlic. Nice chunks in there. And we let that go so we get a nice char on all of our vegetables. We're going to add our chicken back in, add some of a little bit of flavor to it, a little bit of chicken stock, a little bit of rosemary, a little bit of thyme. We're going to go into the oven, let that bake for about 15 to 20 minutes, and we'll pull it out and we'll take a look at it. So our vegetables got a nice char on them. Our Brussels sprouts, our fennel, potatoes, nice color, nice char. It's really great. It's going to bring out a lot of flavor, a lot of texture on the crunch. Our Israeli couscous in the back here. Make sure we season with a little bit of salt and pepper. To your taste, make sure you make it to your taste. You don't want to over season or under season. I season a little bit heavier than most people. Just it brings out a little bit more flavor. Make sure you cook it to the instructions on the package. I use chicken stock instead of water. It brings out a little bit more flavor, adds a little bit more flavor. It's just what we do in the restaurant business. It helps out a lot with flavor, building flavor profiles, building different layers of flavor. It helps out a lot. So after our vegetables are charred here, we take a little bit of chicken stock. A little bit of store-bought chicken stock is just fine. So you get a nice, what's going to happen, make sure you come back in here and scrape up all the bottom. You're going to get not all that stuff on the bottom of your pan. It's all flavor. It's called fond, F-O-N-D, fond. A lot of people don't know it. A lot of people know to scrape the bottom, but they don't know why. It's all the flavor in the bottom of the pan. You pull it back up. Especially adding liquid to it, that's going to help pull all that stuff back up to the top. So after this, what we're going to do is we're going to add our chickens and our lemons back into the pan. Nice even layer across the top. Make sure our lemons go in here. You see all this liquid right here? All from your chicken. We want to save that. We're going to make a little sauce with it. So I'm going to come in here. Into a bowl onto the side. all the chicken jus. Lemon juice from our charred lemons. We're going to make a little sauce right here. So we have our lemon juice, all of our liquid from our chicken. I'm going to take a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Any honey will do. We use Al's Bees honey. This is local here in Reno. It's a great product. I got French's, yellow mustard. It's great on hot dogs. It does the same thing when we're trying to make an emulsification. So we got our chicken juice, our lemon juice, our Worcestershire, a little bit of honey here, mustard. I'm going to whisk this together. It's going to emulsify all together. It's going to add a little bit of extra flavor. I'm going to pour this right over the top of everything. Adds flavor, and it doesn't let the chicken burn or any of the vegetables burn when we stick it in the oven. I'm going to take this whole pan and everything into the oven, 400 degrees, 15 to 20 minutes, or until the chicken thighs reach about 160 degrees. Once it hits 160 degrees, pull them out, let them rest. They'll rest up to 165 and we'll be perfectly done. So we got a little bit of herbs here. We got some thyme, rosemary. Like I said, don't worry about it. It's a real rustic. We're going to take all of this stuff, hot pan, little bit of olive oil, close it up real nice. Just a different layer to this dish. Changes the flavor just a tiny bit, which is good. And what we do, ready to go? Drop it down here. Let that roast. 10 more minutes, good to go. So it's been about 15, 16 minutes. We're going to take a look at our chicken real quick. We got our meat thermometer right here. Oh, that's nice looking right there. $160, that's good. So we're going to pull this out. Set it right there. I'm going to let it rest for a couple minutes. And while it rests, it's going to come up to about 165, which is the cooking temperature for chicken. And while that's doing that, I'm going to finish off our Israeli couscous here. So what I did off camera is I made a little roasted shallot vinaigrette. So you take a shallot, roast it in the oven, 400 degrees for about 15 minutes so it gets nice and soft, nice and flavorful. And then we take red wine vinegar, olive oil, salt, pepper, throw it in a blender, a little bit of mustard, emulsification again, right? Blend it all together so you get a nice emulsified consistency right there. So oil and vinegar, right? Nice emulsified. Couple tablespoons. Give that a stir. Just nice flavors. Fresh chopped parsley. And that's our dish. I'm going to plate it up here. Ready? Chicken, vegetables, chicken thighs on there. lighten everything up. And all this wonderful juice right here, spoon that right across the top. Take some of that fresh thyme, rosemary, more of that parsley. There it is. The chicken, roasted vegetables, what is rated couscous, roasted shallot vinaigrette, fresh herbs.